Picture this. You're sitting in the doctor's office for your routine checkup, which includes getting your blood drawn. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, and you anxiously await your results. How would you react to hearing the doctor say, "You have plastic in your bloodstream"? My name is Harper Ritchie, and I'm here to talk with you about the importance of recycling. When I first heard the news of this shocking statement, I knew something had to be done on the issue. I do not know if you were aware, but only 13% of trash globally is recycled annually, even though most of it can be recycled. To create a better world and future for ourselves and our children, we must recycle more. Each year, approximately 8 million tons of plastic end up in our oceans. It's hard for us to comprehend the significance of that number. 8 million tons. For comparison, that's the equivalent of one garbage truck or 5 tons of plastic being dumped into an ocean every minute. At this rate, it is calculated that there will be more plastic than fish in our oceans by 2050. Now let that sink in. Do you know how many animals our plastic problem is affecting? You might be surprised when I tell you approximately 700 species, including many endangered animals, have been affected negatively. If you didn't know, lots of sea turtles depend on jellyfish as their main source of food. When you compare a jellyfish to a plastic bag floating in the ocean, they look very similar. This similarity can be deadly for many if ingested, as it can rupture organs, cause blockages, and lead to starvation. Plastic rings from your favorite soda can are also a big problem. Since it takes nearly 500 years for plastic to decompose, it eventually ends up in beaches or on oceans. It traps animals, chokes birds and turtles, and can be mistaken for food that animals can't digest. Some solutions to the pesky plastic rings on soda cans and bottles are to just not buy them. My family has started buying soda in cardboard boxes, which is recyclable and breaks down much quicker than plastic. No, I get it. Not all of your favorite soda will be sold in boxes. Maybe they only have plastic. If you decide to buy it, a simple thing you can do is cut up the rings before throwing them away. It's not a permanent solution, and it will continue to break down into smaller pieces, but it can at least slow down the rate at which animals get caught in them. A small solution regarding the plastic straw problem is to not use them or buy compostable ones. For example, our local Mexican restaurant has started giving out straws that are made out of agave fibers. I thought this was such a cool way to give the discarded parts of the plant a second life. And unlike paper straws, they don't get soggy or disintegrate in your drink. In the end, this solution is a win-win. It's simple things like this that can help save so many animals from the sad fate they are suffering. Recycling not only saves our oceans and animals, but it also saves our environment. Having trash littered on our beaches and infesting our parks and polluting our air is killing our planet. Tons upon tons of plastic that end up in landfills and take hundreds of years to decompose leak toxins into our oceans and soils. Most often, when soil gets contaminated, it requires costly restoration of the land. It seems to me like it would be a much easier task to pick up trash and dispose of it properly. It would be even better if we could evolve to not relying on plastic so heavily. I've talked about the effects of plastic pollution has on the soil and water, but there is another major problem I haven't discussed yet: air pollution. You know that smell you get when you pass the trash can sometimes? It's been maybe a week now, and after piling up all the garbage you can fit on and above the rim of the bin, you finally decide to take it out. Congratulations, you just discovered air pollution. That smell might disappear for you, but it is still there. It's an odor. This means that it is giving off chemicals in the form of gas. The smell is not in your house anymore, but it is a constant at landfills. Just because our garbage goes somewhere doesn't mean it disappears. Facilities that incinerate trash release methane gas into the air. This is a major contributor to the greenhouse effect. If you're unfamiliar with this process, it is the way that heat is trapped in our atmosphere. That means it warms our planet. And while we need a certain amount to thrive and live happily, we are exceeding that number largely and need to cut down on emissions. This is why having quality air is very important. I mean, we breathe it every day and need it to survive. We need all the things that our planet has provided us with. It is a complex system that is more fragile than we realize. Like I mentioned, we rely on the earth and everything it gives us. Without its running water for us to drink, its fertile land for us to gather and grow resources on, or its clean, fresh air for us to breathe, we would not be here. Polluting all of these resources eventually hurts you. When an animal eats plastic and we eat that animal, that means we are ingesting the plastic. Do you realize how bad that is? They are finding plastic all over our bodies now. The list includes the lungs, the blood, the feces, and even the placentas of unborn babies. A study has found that this can affect brain development and cause problems like anxiety, depression, and hyperactivity in young children. Along with this, research now suggests that certain lengths of exposure to chemicals and plastic can cause hormone-related cancer. While the risk is low now, the increasing levels of pollution and plastic are going to make this outcome more and more likely as time goes on. To sum it up, we have a problem and we must act now. If not for our animals, our oceans, or our world, do it for yourself. We are exposed to plastic so often that there are a number of ways that toxins can enter your body and harm you. Participants from the microplastic study could have gotten exposed to the plastic through the air, water, food, or products like toothpaste and lip gloss. When you're surrounded by plastic and use it so often, it's going to affect you sooner or later. And the damage has already been done. If we want to resolve this problem as quickly as possible, some things have to change. Some small things you can do include picking up trash you see on the ground and disposing of it properly, recycling cans and other materials, reusing paper and recycling it as well, and avoid using single-use plastic products when possible. While these things may seem small, they can have a big impact. It's important to remember that everything you do counts. People may say, it doesn't matter, or one piece of plastic won't change the world. But if 7.5 billion people each pick up that one piece of trash they walk by, that's 7.5 billion pieces of plastic. And that does make a difference. So whether it's one piece or 100 pieces, it's worth it. I know I will be collaborating with my ag teacher to add recycling bins to our school, work to inform the public, and continue to recycle with my family. My question to you, what are you going to do about it?